Hello, everyone. Thank you very much for being here to our first program in English. Why? Simple. Most Latinos or more of my friends who follow me, they speak English. And this way, I'm going to reach more people. So please ignore my Latinos accent and focus on what I have to say because I think it's going to be helpful for you. So let's get started. A good leader should be adaptable. You may be democratic or directive. You can be depending on the people you lead and the situation you are, your style might be not very effective. In those moments, we need to adapt, we need to evolve, we don't need to expect others to adjust to us, but we have to learn to reach them. Yes, you are the boss, but you are there to help. I am Eduardo Villegas. This is your program, Coaching Expansivo Hoy, which means something like expansive coaching today. And today's chapter is Situational Leadership. I think there are as many leadership styles as books written about the topic. It's amazing how many, different names we have received about leadership. But today, I would like to focus, I would like to make it very simple. First of all, let's talk about your level of dominance. In the next slide, we can see, right? You are in the top. We're talking about you in the top, very authoritative. You are the boss. You are the person in charge. Or in the very bottom, which is the other extreme, is others. So people decide instead of you. So they are your boss. Of course, both extremes are wrong, and we need to find the fine tuning, depending on the situation, in between. This is one, your level of dominance. And secondly, exactly your focus on the process. In the left, you are focused on processes, what is going on, how to deal with the task, how this accounting treatment should be done. Okay, the program, how should be done. And in the other side, you're focused more in the people side. What are the potential? What can the people reach? Okay, so we have these two lines, dominance and relationship. We can see in the next slide, we have it combined. So basically, we will have these four options: authoritative, participative, try to find yourself there, and then directive or inspirational, more focused in process or on the people. And if we move to the next slide, you see in the middle, the circle of democratic leader is the one who has the ability to move to different places and use, exercise power when it's needed and exercise more participation when it's also needed. Okay, and I have changed the name. I put in the top dominator and then below accommodator because it's somebody who just is led by the team. And in the left side, the supervisor. Think about when you go to the dentist and somebody do your cleaning and the next person comes and check, right? Just to check, okay, everything is fine. This person is not really leading the other one. It's just checking the task. This is the extreme side of the process, your supervisor. And in the right side, in the people, I totally biased, call this position coach because it's what I am, right? Focusing inspiring people. So I just want to do an exercise with you. It's going to be very, very quick. I'm going to ask you a few questions about yourself and where do you see yourself in this chart. First of all, what do you see in the vertical range? You have to be very honest with you. Are you really a bit authoritative? You want the things your way all the time? When somebody disagrees with you, you feel like you're losing instead of just changing. Okay. And if you are in the top, what would be good for you to change to move to a bit lower and to be more participative? And in the same way, if you are in the bottom part, you are very participative. You don't want to displease anybody. You don't want to confront anybody. What do you need to do to be a little bit more directive, more authoritative when that is needed? Another question: where do you find yourself in the horizontal range? Are you always oriented only in the task? This is the process. This is the steps you have to follow, or you are more focused in the person, the potential, what the person can reach? Where do you feel naturally? That's the question. Where do you feel naturally? Third question: can somebody who seems to be very participative, meaning below, uh, can look like participative person, but in reality is somebody who is avoiding confrontation? That could happen, right? You can look like, oh, I'm very open-minded, but at the end of the day, you're not taking ownership of your team and you're basically accepting whatever they push you to do. Fourth question: do you listen to your team attentively? You really listen to what they have to say. Well, that means you're participative in the lower side. Or when while they are talking to you, you are thinking of the answer. So, no, I'm going to debate this. I'm going to refute this because I know the answer. Probably you are more in the higher part. And the final question in this chart is, how do you feel when you say no? You feel powerful? I say no. Or the other way around, you feel uncomfortable because you know your team wanted to something and you told them not to do it. How do you feel about that? So now, so far, in this 6 minutes ago, we just started, we're talking about you, right? Now we want to move into your team. So in the next slide, you can see, right, this is a different chart. You can see the arrow is facing down, right? So it's down forward, downward, sorry. So the expertise, if you are in the high part, you have low expertise. And if you are in the part below, you have high expertise. So this is one vector, expertise. And in the next slide, we can see potential, which is to the right. So what does that mean? If you are in the bottom left, you have low expertise, low potential. You're maybe a new person just starting. When you go down, you have high expertise. You know a lot of your business. Maybe you are an expert in your area, but you have little potential in the sense that you cannot change to another area. You are really an expert in logistics, but you will never move into commercial because this is what you know how to do. Okay. In the top right, you have low expertise, but high potential. It's somebody who is new, maybe has little experience, but this person is really with a great attitude, willing to learn, curious to have a wide view of the situations. And in the bottom right, you have your stars: high expertise, high potential, somebody who has experience, and at the same time, that somebody can move in different areas and can learn and contribute a lot. So in the next slide, I just put this in the left side just to something right now, and I changed the name, right? So I put low expertise. Somebody coming new is novice, but in the right top is the apprentice. What is the difference? Well, it has also little expertise, but they have the right attitude and have high potential. And of course, in the right bottom, you have the star, the superstar, the person that you really want to take care of. Now, I would like to combine this with the prior chart talking about you in the next slide. So now we have both, right? So now you see in the left, your team member, and in the right, this is you. And what I want to do is a merge, but I didn't have time to create an effect. And it's as simple as the next slide, where we're going to have all combined. So you see the white labels are your team, and the big circle is you. So now, again, what I want to spend some time in this chart, and I'm going to take a look to this, right? If you see, for instance, if you are a very participative person in the bottom and focus on people, right? Inspirational, okay? And you have somebody novice asking you for something, you need to adapt to that, because if you want the person to be creative and to find their way, and they are just new and they have no experience, no expertise, no potential, this person is lost. The same happen. You are very authoritative in the top left and directive, and you have somebody who's really creative, really smart, and this person wants some room to breathe and create their own way. So you need to give room to this person. So let's keep this slide for a moment, and I'm going to ask you a few questions about this. Let's keep the slide, okay, so we can see it, the chart. So what would you suggest to a leader who is highly participative, is below, right? When they need something important from someone with low experience, a novice. Well, this person, you are very participative. What would be important that you say, okay, this person doesn't know too much. Let me go into more details. Let me be more directive. Let me explain more in detail. So you have to step out of your natural style. Second question or second thought: what would be the secret sauce of an inspirational leader? In the right below, they need to put pressure on an essential. You have somebody with high expertise. They say it's the tax expert at the company, and you have to put pressure on this person, but your style is not very technical. It's more inspirational. Well, the same thing. Instead of waiting the person to become a star to listen to you, you need to move to that person's direction. You need to understand this person speaks in a specific language. This person's universe is more specific. It's not that wide. So you have to be less abstract, less, universal, and focus more in what the person is saying. Third question: what adjustments would an autocratic leader need to make when they want to motivate a star associate? So you have a super high potential person with all possibilities in the company, and you are a very authoritative leader. You want the people to tell them what to do, what kind of letters you want to put. You want italic, bold letters in the title in blue. Okay, you cannot do that with somebody like this. You need to move down and let this person grant this person room, so he or she can breathe and can create and can fulfill the possibilities. Otherwise, very soon they're going to be leaving the company. And last question, I could ask many more, but just to think about it, is what leadership style would you exercise in an emergency? Let's say, I wish this to nobody, but you have an IRS or your tax office audit in your office. Okay. You don't want at that time, you have the people from the IRS, then the government, checking your computers, and because something happened, something kind of lack of compliance or whatever, you don't want you're not going to bring your team and say, okay, guys, let's have a brainstorm. What do we want to do? How are you feeling about this situation? No, you have to be very directive and very authoritative because you have an emergency. The building is in fire. You're going to say, okay, guys, what kind of stairs would you like to leave? No. You say, go this way right now, leave everything behind, take away your shoes. This is the way you have to do it, right? So this is really important that we understand that depending on our style and depending on the person we are leading, we have to adjust. Okay. So the three simple keys are these ones. First, and the next slide, recognize your style. So if I'm an accommodator, very, very low, very passive, I need to become more authoritative. Or if I am too bossy, okay, I need to allow new ideas. Okay, this is first, recognize your style. Where are you? Second, identify your report level. Your direct report, this person who is reporting into you, where are they? They have a very high potential, low potential, low expertise, high expertise. Where exactly, objectively? Don't put it all together in a box, in a box, in a bag. Think about them as individuals. Okay, you can give the same instructions under the same circumstances in a different way to different people if you want to be successful. And third, adjust your style during the interactions according with the situation and needs. Okay, stretch yourself to speak the language. Adapt your leadership, your instructions, your communication to serve them. Okay, I think this is a bit uncommon, I would say. And it's a bit uncommon because we tend to believe that we're the leader, people have to adapt to us, but it's not really the best way. So you have a couple of comments. If your leadership style is really personal and it's natural and it's developed during your life, you are growing, you have your own experience, you develop your natural style. That is the genuine you, but it's okay to be aware of yourself. I mean, be aware of yourself, but at the same time understand that using your style all the time is not going to be very effective. So no style will work with everybody on every occasion. And second, if you believe that people must adapt to you because you are the boss, you are killing your team, and you're not adding the value that you might add. Okay. Now, if you're serious about this and you're willing to expand your influence at a much wider level, contact me. Okay. I can help you to work in that area with you and your team. I offer a complimentary session where you are going to learn a lot about yourself with no commitments. So I hope this has been useful for you. And remember, identifying a barrier is a first step to break it down. So thank you very much and see you next time.